our past. But not if we keep going in the direction that the Washington insiders have taken us for the past 8 years. And because of the gentleman that I am now having the pleasure to introduce, that direction is about to change. Vice President-elect Mike Pence is a lifelong Hoosier from the great state of Indiana. He has been described as a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order. And the reason he's been described that way is because that is how he describes himself. Something we can identify with in Louisiana. The Vice President-elect served 6 terms in the United States Congress. And he is the 50th governor of the state of Indiana, the great state of Indiana. What he has done as governor of that wonderful state is nothing short of extraordinary. As governor, he implemented the largest tax cut in the history of the state. Not the second largest, not the third largest, but the largest tax cut in the history of Indiana. And he did it while adding money to higher education and adding to the state's surplus. Throughout his career, Vice President-elect Pence has believed that every life is precious, whether it's 82 years old or 82 seconds old. Throughout his career, Vice President-elect Pence has been a steadfast supporter of the United States Constitution, including but not limited to the Second Amendment. And throughout his career, Vice President-elect Pence has demonstrated time and time again that he believes you can spend the money you earn better than government can. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to join me and give a warm Louisiana welcome, like you were in Tiger Stadium on Saturday night, to my new Vice President, your new Vice President, Louisiana's new Vice President, and in January, the new Vice President of the United States of America, Mike Pence. In part to a landslide victory for our next president here in Louisiana. In just a few short weeks, I'll raise my right hand with my left hand on the Bible, my family at my side, and I will take the oath of office to be your next Vice President of the United States of America. And I'm so humbled. I'm so humbled to be with you today to say thanks on behalf of my family. But I also came here to say thank you.
Thank you for such a decisive landslide victory for President-elect Donald Trump, a president who will make America great again. It's great to be back in Louisiana. I just hung up the phone from our president-elect. He said to send greetings to you all and to say how grateful he was for the tremendous support of the people of Louisiana. But he said, I have one more thing to ask, and that is to send John Kennedy to the United States Senate. The President-elect asked me to come down to make it clear to the people of Louisiana that President-elect Donald Trump and I support John Kennedy as your next senator 100%. And I'm so grateful to be with all of you today. I truly am. I appreciate you all taking time. And I'm not going to keep you because early voting is open today until 6 p.m. But I got a few things I'd like to share by way of thanks and a challenge and the opportunity the people of Louisiana have. But first and foremost, I want to thank you for the Louisiana team in Washington, D.C. The majority whip in the United States House of Representatives, Steve Scalise, an incredible leader, is going to work with this president-elect and make America great again. To the man John Kennedy is going to join in the United States Senate, Senator Bill Cassidy, a great conservative voice in our nation's capital. I want to thank your great delegation to the Congress, Congressman John Fleming, Congressman Ralph Lemons, Congressman Garrett Gray. These are strong conservative voices in our nation's capital. And I want to thank your Attorney General. I served with him in the Congress. I've occasionally seen him wear a tie. Jeff Landry told me today I'll be wearing one on January 20th. Your Attorney General, Jeff Landry, is here. Thank you so much. And let me just say, as I gather around so many of these great leaders here in Louisiana and around neighbors and friends, it's good to be back in Louisiana. I will tell you the most inspiring day for me on the campaign was back in August, when our now President-elect Donald Trump made the decision to get on the plane and come down and walk the neighborhoods with the victims of that 100 years fire. It's incredibly inspiring to see the resilience of the people of Louisiana, the determination to rebuild, the generosity of people in every community come alongside neighbors and friends as Donald Trump and I walk through those besieged neighborhoods, and to see the way our first responders and law enforcement community worked in many ways when their own families were impacted by the floods around the clock. Louisiana, you inspired the nation. And I promise you, our President-elect and I are going to be with you all the way through to recovery. Now, I stand here today deeply grateful and deeply humbled by the opportunity you've given to my little family and the opportunity the people of Louisiana have given the American people. And I want to tell you, I'll tell you firsthand, our President-elect is working around the clock to build a team and advance an agenda that will make America great again. We're going to be ready on day one. As Senator Cassidy and these great members of Congress and Congressman Scalise knows, we've already been working. We've been working with members of the House and the Senate leadership to lay out that Trump agenda that you've made possible from that strong vote here in Louisiana. And let me tell you what we're able to do. Because of your support, from the outset of this new Congress, and once we elect John Kennedy to that Republican majority, we're going to repeal Obamacare lock, stock, and barrel. We'll have a president after January 20th who will sign the repeal of Obamacare, and we'll set the Congress and the nation on the course of free market reforms that give the American people not more choices in health care and not more government. We're also going to work with this Congress to put the safety and security of the American people first. In the very week that we saw one more terrorist-inspired attack in the heartland in Columbus, Ohio, I promise you, President-elect Donald Trump, when he takes office, will rebuild our military. We will suspend immigration from nations compromised by terrorism, and we will hunt down and destroy ISIS at its source. And to get this economy moving again, I hope you could tell this week that we have elected as our president-elect a man of action. Picked up the phone and called a company that announced all the way back in February that they were leaving my home state of Indiana. They didn't even want to talk about the possibility of staying. But I was there in the office. It wasn't even a week after the election when President-elect Donald Trump picked up the phone, called the parent company of Carrier, and he said, look, we're going to cut taxes. We're going to roll back regulations. We're going to have smarter and tougher trade deals, and make no mistake about it, Carrier decided to stay in America because America chose Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States. And I promise you, working with both of your senators and a newly elected senator in John Kennedy, we're going to cut taxes across the board for working families, small businesses, and family farms. We're going to lower the business taxes in America so that American companies here in Louisiana can compete with companies around the world. And President-elect Donald Trump is going to repeal every single unconstitutional executive order that Barack Obama has signed. And I promise you that we're going to work with this Congress as well. When you send John Kennedy to Washington, D.C. to work with Bill Cassidy and these great leaders, we're going to put the interests of the citizens of America first. We're going to uphold the laws of this nation for the citizens of this nation. We're going to build a wall, enforce our laws, and then remove immigration once and for all. There's so much more I could mention, but as I stand before you today asking you to support this good man as your next senator, perhaps there's nothing more important, nothing of more long-term impact than the fact that our next president will serve for a 4-year term, right before he serves for another 4-year term. But our next president will have the opportunity not just to fill one vacancy on the Supreme Court, but maybe 2, maybe 3, setting the course and destiny of the Supreme Court of the United States for a generation. That's what you brought, Louisiana. But we need partners in the United States Senate to support the president-elect's nominee to the highest court in the land. We will nominate people who uphold our Constitution, stand for the sanctity of life, our Second Amendment, and all of our God-given liberties enshrined in the Bill of Rights. And that's John Kennedy. So I'm really here to say thank you. But I'm also here to ask you for your help one more time for one more week to make sure that we have partners in the United States Senate and in the House who will give us the support that we need to move forward the President-elect's agenda to make America great again. And so I stand before you, Louisiana, simply to say that we need John Kennedy in the United States Senate. We truly do. By electing John Kennedy as your next senator, you're going to put an exclamation point at the end of a great American victory in 2016. So let's make it happen, Louisiana. Like President-elect Donald Trump, John Kennedy is committed to repealing Obamacare, reducing taxes, rolling back the kind of regulations that are stifling American energy here in the Gulf. John Kennedy is going to work with the President, Donald Trump, to drive us toward American energy independence. And like our President-elect, a Senator John Kennedy is going to arrive in Washington, D.C. He's going to change the course and direction of our nation's capital. He's going to make sure that once again we have government as good as our people. And John Kennedy and Bill Cassidy are going to help Donald Trump drain the swamp in Washington, D.C. And as I mentioned before, working with our President-elect, I'm absolutely confident that as a senator, John Kennedy will support nominees to the Supreme Court that will uphold our Constitution in the tradition of the late and great Justice Antonin Scalia. So Louisiana, I'm really here to say thanks. But we have one more race to win this year. And it's right here in your great state. I'm here to say thank you. Thank you for all you've done. All you've done so far, but we need one more push. In the 7 days that remain between now and when polls close 1 week from today in Louisiana, we need you to do a few things. First and foremost, vote. Vote to send John Kennedy to the United States Senate. And you can vote today. I checked. I got off the plane. We actually landed at another airport because the runways here were a little too short for the plane they got me on. And I know a little something about landing on short runways. We want you to vote, but I checked before I got off the plane. And I found out early voting ends today here in Louisiana. And just in case you didn't know about it, Orleans Parish residents can vote at Lake Vista Community Center, 6500 Spanish Fort Boulevard, New Orleans, Louisiana. Open today, 8:30 to 6 p.m. Go vote. Go vote. You can listen to the game on the radio. Is that all right? Just go vote. And remember, friends don't let friends vote alone. Grab a friend and go vote to make John Kennedy the next senator. And so, someone I forgot to mention, Roger Wicker is a great senator from Mississippi. He's with us today. He chairs the senatorial committee. He's marshaled resources from across America. Thank you to the National Senatorial Committee for your great support. So if you're taking notes, I need you to vote today, if possible. Bring a friend. Or in the meantime, between now and next Saturday, I need you to go tell somebody. If what I've said here today, reminding you of what we accomplished as Americans in electing President-elect Donald Trump and re-electing majorities in the House and Senate, if those reasons for a stronger, more prosperous America that stands on the foundation of our constitutional liberties and best traditions in America, that drives relentlessly toward energy independence here in the Gulf and beyond, then I need you to go tell somebody. In between now and when the polls close next Saturday, you just got to go tell somebody. Reach out to a neighbor and friend at worship, at work, and just tell them. I mean, the truth of the matter is this is a turnout election. And the truth is that the people that turn out here in Louisiana are going to play a leading role in whether or not President-elect Donald Trump has partners in the United States Senate that will work to advance the Trump agenda to make America great again. So reach out to your neighbors and friends. Come alongside and make sure that Louisiana does its part to make John Kennedy the next great senator from this great state. So go tell somebody. And lastly, I would say, vote early with a friend. Go tell somebody all week long. The last thing I'd tell you is the sweetest words that I ever hear, and The sweetest words I know our president-elect ever hears are when people will say to you out on the campaign trail or since, I'm praying for you. So if you ever mind to bend the knee and bow the head, it's a good time to do it. And I'm not talking so much about this election or any one election. I'm talking about the fact that this is a very challenging time in the life of our nation. It seems like we've got unknowable threats abroad and more division here at home than Americans have been accustomed to in my lifetime. And I was with our president-elect in Cincinnati the other night. Thousands of people turned out at a big arena in Cincinnati. And he said then what I know to be true, having gotten to know this man over the last 6 months. He said that when the American people are united, there's nothing that we can't accomplish. And as President of the United States, Donald Trump is going to bring the American people together. And he will make America great. All the people of this country. So I just encourage you, if you're of a mind to remember that those words that our forebears have clung to have been true for thousands of years and are still true today in these divided times, that if his people who are called by his name will humble themselves and pray, that I know in my heart of hearts he'll do what he's always done. He'll hear from heaven and he'll heal this land, this one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. So, men and women of Louisiana, thank you for taking time on a Sunday afternoon to come out to see me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to express the heartfelt gratitude of our president-elect to the people of Louisiana and the gratitude of my little family you've given us the opportunity to serve. And thank you for allowing us to come and express what he said to me a couple of times on the phone before I just got out of the car. The 100% support of President-elect Donald Trump and I asking you to elect John Kennedy as the next great senator from the great state of Louisiana. Let's